Konnichiwa minasan, I'm Matayu and this is Manga You May Have Missed. When I started this series, I intentionally tried to avoid doing shonen titles because most people have already heard of the more popular ones and know the genre. This had an unfortunate side effect though, in that 14 episodes I've only reviewed 2 shonen manga, Jing, King of Bandits, and Flame of Rekka. Furikuri and Watamote are debatable. So to rectify this imbalance, our manga today is Nobuhiro Watsuki's Busou Renkin. Busou Renkin, literally Arms Alchemy, is Watsuki's third shonen series. He is much better known for his first, Rurouni Kenshin. He created Busou Renkin under the assumption that it would be his last shonen manga, so he tried to do anything he could within the genre. Busou Renkin ran for 79 chapters in the Weekly Shonen Jump from 2003 to 2005, with the finale chapter published in a different Shueisha magazine in 2 installments. Busou Renkin was collected into 10 volumes between 2004 and 2006, and was released in North America by Viz Media between 2006 and 2008 under the Shonen Jump Advanced imprint. The series has also been licensed in French by Glenat and in German by Tokyopop Germany. Busou Renkin was adapted into an anime series in 2006. It was directed by Takao Kato and produced by XBEC and ran for 26 episodes. In 2008, Viz Media released an English dub in 2 13-episode sets. Chapter 1 of Busou Renkin is called New Life. It has to be a dream. There's no way such a monster could actually exist. And that girl over there has no idea. Actually, judging from the weapon she's holding on the title page, she may have more of an idea than you do, as of yet unnamed protagonist. Like the true gentleman that he is, our as of yet nameless protagonist dashes out and pushes aside our as of yet unnamed supporting character. Unfortunately for Protagonist-kun, this puts him in line for the as of yet undefined monster's tentacle attack. As of yet unnamed girl is upset that an innocent bystander got involved. As of yet nameless protagonist wakes up in bed and is suddenly not nameless as his friends yell for Kazuki to shut up. It's the middle of the night, and Kazuki is still half asleep. A cell phone receives a message as Kazuki continues to fight off imagined attackers, so loud that he wakes a bunch of girls up. One of them identifies the noisemaker as her brother. Outside the Ginsei Private Academy dormitory, the as-of-yet unnamed girl from earlier shuts her cell phone and says that Kazuki should be thankful, for now. He owes his life to the powers of alchemy. The next day, Kazuki attends school like nothing happened, but unfortunately for him, the story of his half-asleep rampage has already spread. His friend Okakura, the guy with the bouffant, ratted him out as revenge for the scarring Kazuki accidentally gave him. Kazuki says he's been teaching himself karate for years, but has never actually hurt anyone with it. He rejoices in the fact that it actually worked, and Okakura demands he apologize. His other 2 friends Daihama and Rokumasu walk up and ask what he was dreaming about. Kazuki relates the events of the first couple pages and adds that it was in the abandoned building behind the school. He saved the girl, but to everyone's surprise, he was killed instead. Rokumasu points out that the bell is about to ring, and the 4 make a mad dash for the gate before it closes. All but Kazuki make it, but Kazuki doesn't care. He gets to show off his speed. Also late for school is a girl. The 2 know each other. The girl, Mahiro, is Kazuki's younger sister, who is equally late for class. Kazuki decides to help by pushing her from behind, and we learn from his friends that Mahiro is starting that year as a freshman. Kazuki and company are sophomores. Mahiro makes it over the line before the bell, but Kazuki is not so lucky. The gate begins to close, but Mahiro is still in the way. Kazuki jumps and pushes her out of the way, catching the gate in one hand. He feels a surge of energy from around his heart as the gate slams shut. The others react in horror, but Kazuki is unscathed and inside the gate. The teacher minding the gate, who almost closed it on Mahiro's head, asks if she's a new student and gives her a demerit for being a single second late. There is punishment for receiving 3 demerit points, as of yet unnamed and obviously a villain teacher says. Kazuki protests that Mahiro made it on time, but unnamed antagonist teacher's verdict stands. Kazuki then insists that he receive both demerit points. His friends ask if he's okay, and Okakura mutters that one can never read as of yet unnamed teacher's thoughts. As they're walking to class, Actually, just kidding, the teacher's name is Mita-sensei, they mentioned it a couple pages back. Anyway, Mita-sensei stops them again and asks why Kazuki isn't using the school-approved book bag. Kazuki explains that he was unable to look at the bag when he woke up that morning. Mita-sensei asks if he left it somewhere, but Kazuki can't remember where he had gone after school the previous day. Mita-sensei says it doesn't matter. It's 3 demerits anyway, so Kazuki has to weed the courtyard after school. He isn't allowed to leave until he's done. He then urges them on to class that they don't want more demerits. Mita's definitely not a villain. That's why he gives Kazuki's back the evil eye and thinks to himself, "Found you." At lunchtime, the 3 boys discuss how Mita-sensei's been acting strange lately. Mahiro shows up and is told that Kazuki is buying them drinks. He lost rock, paper, scissors. They congratulate her on getting into the school and say that the uniform looks good on her. Kazuki returns in time to hear Mahiro say her main reason for wanting to come to the school is because she liked the uniform. Kazuki joins in and says that it was his reason too. He remarks that his sister is in a good mood and offers her his drink as a present. Apparently, he was going to drink Takamushi DX green vegetable juice with fish mint. She drinks it without complaint to the boy's shock, and says that she's glad Kazuki is okay after the gate incident. Kazuki says his heart still hurts a little bit, and notices that he has a text message. Rokumasu says that Kazuki is always doing something reckless. The other two chime in to say that Kazuki is lucky he wasn't seriously hurt that morning. Kazuki explains that his body moves faster than his brain, so it's beyond his control, but he'll take a few bruises as long as Mahiro's okay. They bring him back to Earth by saying he'll die like in his dream if he keeps it up. Just then, the bell rings for the next period. As Mahiro leaves, she thanks Kazuki for saving her that morning and asks if he wants her to help with his weeding duties. Kazuki declines and says that he'll probably just get home late. As he waves her goodbye, he remembers the text message. Take good care of your new life. As he ponders this message, a figure in the school's water tank looks out over the city. It is the as-of-yet nameless girl that Kazuki saved. It's a peaceful town, but an enemy is surely lurking in the shadows. We see Mita-sensei for a second and learn that it's about time. Kazuki has finished his appointed task and is about to head home. He goes to find Mita-sensei to tell him that he's completed his task, but the school is deserted and dark. Strangely though, the ghost factory behind the school is illuminated. Kazuki remembers the phrase, new life, and being pierced by the tentacle, and decides he'll tell Mita-sensei in the morning. A voice from off-panel asks him where he thinks he's going. A different voice asks the same question to Mahiro. The second speaker is Okakura. Mahiro is going to bring Kazuki back to the dormitories. The first speaker is Mita-sensei, who asks if Kazuki is done pulling weeds. Not that it matters. His main concern, he says, is this. He tosses Kazuki's school bag at him. Kazuki asks where he found it, and Mita-sensei says that it was in the factory behind the school. The pieces fall into place for Kazuki as Mita proclaims that Kazuki Muto is the one who, the previous night, interrupted his meal. Energy starts to pour from Kazuki's heart, apparently hurting him, as Mita begins to transform. Mita says he skewered Kazuki through the heart, and Kazuki says it must be a recurring dream. Otherwise, he wouldn't be alive. If Kazuki is alive, Mita says, he'll take care to kill him properly this time. Mita transforms into a giant cobra as Kazuki grabs a length of pipe and runs. The cobra lunges and Kazuki narrowly avoids it. Kazuki comes to the conclusion that it wasn't a dream as his cell phone rings. He answers it, and someone tells him to hold off the beast for 3 minutes until they arrive. He demands answers from the as-of-yet unnamed girl on the other end of the phone. What is happening to him? Aside from the giant snake trying to eat him, of course, that's self-explanatory. The girl says it's too long to explain and offers the Cliff Notes version. Ha, localization. The beast is a homunculus. It disguises itself as a human, but is actually a monster that eats humans. As-of-yet unnamed girl came to the city to destroy them, but accidentally got Kazuki involved. Kazuki asks what he's supposed to do as the homunculus gains on him. Unnamed girl says that they have no other choice and gives Kazuki permission to use his power to fight. Kazuki has no idea what she's talking about. The girl says that he hasn't remembered everything yet, and that trying to outrun it won't work. To keep their existence a secret, they don't allow any witnesses. Once someone is involved, there's nowhere to run, she says, as Kazuki inadvertently involves Mahiro. Mahiro hasn't seen the cobra somehow and tells Kazuki that she came to bring him home. Kazuki hears a slithering sound behind them and tells Mahiro to run as he holds it off. She still doesn't comprehend, but I think she gets a better idea as the homunculus erupts out of the ground around her, encasing her in its jaws. There's a chomp and a gulp, and this just got a whole lot darker. Mita's head appears out of the snake's mouth and says that he feels much better now that he's eaten something. Kazuki, enraged, starts bludgeoning Mita's head with the pipe he picked up. He yells, "Give her back," as a battle cry as memories of Mahiro fill his head. Eventually, Mita has enough of this and tosses Kazuki away, breaking the pipe. Kazuki hits a tree, spine first. As Mita's wounds heal, he explains that his body was created by alchemy, and that only alchemy can damage him. As Kazuki ponders the power of alchemy, he remembers what the girl said, use his power. His heart has an energy spike again, and he remembers something. On top of the school's water tank, the nameless girl informs him that he has died, and that his heart is useless. It is because he acted without thinking. However, he did so to save the unnamed girl. He has her a little interested. She pulls a gem-shaped object out of her pocket. It is a kakugane, a super paranormal alloy created from the most advanced alchemic technology. It awakens one's deepest survival instincts. She places the kakugane in his chest as a replacement for his heart. He will come back to life and gain another power, a power that will activate from his combat instinct, the power to fight. Kazuki pulls himself to his feet as he remembers the girl's words. The kakugane's true purpose is to use its owner's hidden combat powers to create a weapon like no other. Mita remarks that Kazuki doesn't know when to give up, he should just behave and be eaten. The kakugane works because of Kazuki's control, decision, and yearning. He says that Mita can eat him if he so desires, but first he's going to give Mahiro back. For the first time, Kazuki activates his Buso Renkin. Mita will have done that nonsense though and swallows Kazuki. Unexpectedly, something explodes inside of him and Mita starts writhing until another explosion opens the top of his snake head. A giant spearhead rises out of Mita's body, wielded of course by Kazuki, who has managed to rescue Mahiro. Mita, injured but not yet dead, asks how Kazuki could possibly have a Buso Renkin. He attacks Kazuki, but the attack is intercepted by someone in a skirt, who says that Kazuki's lance Buso Renkin matches his personality. He sticks his nose into people's business without thinking. The unnamed girl activates her own Buso Renkin, Valkyrie Skirt. Mita, now mostly dead, refers to it as the execution scythe Buso Renkin, and identifies the girl as an alchemist. In midair, the girl explains to Kazuki that a homunculus' weakness is the emblem on their forehead. Also, Kazuki needs to watch how he lands or he'll die. On the ground, Kazuki finally remembers the events of the previous night. He saw a light on in the factory and was away home from school. When he got there, he saw the unnamed girl about to be eaten by Mita and jumped in to save her. What he didn't know was that the girl was trying to draw him out, and she wasn't actually in danger. As he's bemoaning the lameness of his death, Mahito begins to wake up. He tosses aside the lance to go to her, but almost immediately starts to collapse. The unnamed girl catches him with her Buso Renkin and says that he's in worse shape than she is. The girl says that he's strange. He claims not to want to be in pain or frightened, but doesn't care about danger to himself when others are threatened. She's not sure if he's courageous or just an idiot. Either way, she kind of likes him. Oblivious to his reaction, she offers him the shaft of his lance. She says to take better care of it, as it doubles as his heart. If it gets stolen or broken, he'll die. It's Kazuki's new life. Kazuki runs down what he's learned so far. Alchemic monsters that eat humans, a girl who knows alchemy that came hunting them, and his new life, the Buso Renkin. He has one question, though. What's alchemy? The girl begins to answer him. Alchemy is the end. I know what you're wondering. As of yet unnamed girl's name is Tokiko Sumura. It doesn't come up until the 3rd chapter. In the endnotes of the 1st volume, Watsuki-sensei says that the reason he didn't reveal Tokiko's name until chapter 3 was because he made a mistake while structuring the story and was unable to do so until the 3rd chapter. The anime adaptation of Buso Renkin is rather good. The first episode combines the first 2 chapters of the manga. The sequence of Mahito and Kazuki dodging the gate was removed, presumably for time. Kazuki's first activation of his Buso Renkin is left until the 2nd part of the episode, with Tokiko dispatching Mita without his help. The animation is good, the music is good, and the vocal work in both the original and the dub is good. My only complaint is that the English dub doesn't bother to translate any of the Japanese text. This includes the title of the episode and the text message that Tokiko sends Kazuki. Would it have been so hard to erase the Japanese text and rewrite it in English? Regardless, both the manga and the anime are solid stories that are well told. In the manga, Watsuki-sensei has a habit of poking fun at tropes of shonen manga. For example, when Kazuki engages an opponent in conversation, Tokiko scolds him, and then is bewildered when Kazuki explains that he's only being polite. I also regret that I was unable to introduce you to the series' first major antagonist, a homunculus that calls himself Papillon Mask. He is quite fabulous.